Hi, this is Emily Ionelli of T Girl Angel, and I don't know what life is all about sometimes, but I think a lot and I write a lot because I think it's important that we try to sometimes go outside of ourselves. And I've always felt that I was never really doing what I truly wanted to in life. Obviously, now, being that I'm out of work, not able to work, and I'm on disability for um, some emotional and psychological issues that I'm dealing with on a regular basis, in addition to my gender identity struggles and raising a son who's on the autistic spectrum and facing financial problems. Um, I always wanted to do something with my life that was meaningful and where I could kind of not fall into a trap. You know, in life, I think many people get into this grind with their work. And I don't truly believe that many people find satisfaction in what they do. To be honest with you, if you were to take a poll of what people do for a living and their job satisfaction rate, and if they like what they do, I'm sure that you wouldn't get positive results. Most people would probably say they hate what they do and they just do it because they have to pay their bills. Um, I haven't really met many people who could actually say they actually love what they do for a living. And you got people that you wonder what life is like for them because when you look at yourself, you see yourself as just a common person, someone who's just going through life, who's in their own little world. They don't have much to show in the sense of uh, uh, material things. You know, there are people that work hard to get what they achieve. Um, you know, they have to work literally 2 or 3 jobs to pay all of their bills, and they don't have quality of life. How can you enjoy your life if you're working yourself to the bone? Life isn't supposed to be about just working to pay your bills, you know? Aren't you supposed to get enjoyment out of life? Aren't you supposed to kind of sit back and just take it all in and just enjoy what it is that you do? You know, some people get defined by what they do. And I think that when we get indoctrinated into going to college, and not even college, just indoctrinated in getting an education, going to school, and what's incumbent upon us as to what we need to do, we kind of fall into some kind of like this entrapment that we have to do this, this, and this to get this. And it's kind of structured. And it doesn't allow for creativity or flexibility. It's very rigid. And sometimes we have to break that rigidity and just go with what we feel inside. You know, we have to take risks. You can't always go by the book. You know, sometimes you got to be a trendsetter, you know? And what amazes me is the most successful people in the world are people that didn't even finish high school or dropped out of high school or college. And they have become multi-millionaires and even billionaires. And what they have that most people don't have is the ability to see into the future, or the ability to have a talent that they can articulate or that they can express that is worthy of becoming known to all. I am always amazed by people in movies. When I go to a movie, I just love learning about people and how they got into that line of work. Because let's face it, most people in the movie industry who are well known make lots of money, and they are able to command a lot of respect and a lot of media focus, a lot of media attention. And you wonder what it is that make them so special that they can wind up in a, 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 a such an amazing opportunity where they can express what they truly enjoy doing and make a lot of money in the process. Now, I'm not saying that movie making or movie acting is a luxury. No, by no means is that the case. If you were interviewing actors, they would say that they have to work virtually a 16 to 18-hour day. They have to be on a set at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and they don't knock off until late at night. And they virtually have to travel all throughout the country or the world and be on different locations. And they have to know how to do their lines, and they have to know how to be able to do scenes specifically within a movie. So it's not all fun and games. In actuality, it's a lot of hard work. But if you ask most of these actors and actresses, they seem to love what they do, and they say, I get paid for doing something I love. If you ask an engineer or an accountant or a banker or a real estate agent or whoever, they may say they love what they do. That may be the case. Who knows? But I don't know if that's what they truly feel in their heart. I worked as an engineer. I worked as an accountant. Sure, I did it because I had to make a living. I had to make a way to make a life for myself and for my family. I had bills to pay. I have a mortgage. But did I enjoy what I did? No, not really. I did it because I had to. And that's the frustration of life, is that why do we have to fall into a trap? Why do we have to fall into a grind? You hear the term 9 to 5 grind. Well, how many people can fall into that? That they really feel like they're just going through the motions. Is that the way you're supposed to live your life? I don't think so. I don't want to live my life feeling like I'm just going through the motions of life and just hating getting up every day and going to a job I hate. What's the good of that? You're supposed to have passion in what you do. And it took me a long time to find something that I have passion in. Do I make money doing it? No, I don't. I don't make a dime. But I hope to eventually get to a point where maybe I can get noticed or find a way to channel what I do to hopefully be able to get some visibility. Because what I like to do is I like to write, and I like to create, and I like to display my feelings and my emotions, whether it's through a writing in a blog, whether it's through a writing in a song, whether it's through a discussion in a video. I like to articulate. Did I always like to articulate? Did I always like to write? It didn't happen overnight. It took me a long time to get to this point. And it's not an easy thing to do. But I love to write, and I love to express myself, and I love to communicate, and I love to articulate. I would love to go out and do a circuit of tours and speak in front of audiences of people and be a motivational speaker. And I can talk about anything. If you threw out a word to me and you asked me to do an impromptu, I could do it like that, like that. You give me anything and I can do anything with it. And that's the beauty of being an artist, is that you can create and you can envision, but you have to know that you can do it, and it's a possibility that it doesn't have to be something that you feel you cannot do. You have to truly believe in your heart that you have the talent, that you have the ability. We don't have to always fall into a trap. We don't have to always feel like we can't do something. We have to realize that we are human beings and we have talents, and we have to dig deep within ourselves to uncover what it is that we can do. And it is something that we can take pleasure in doing. When I write a song that I have a good feeling about, I can't wait to get it heard. I can't wait to get it onto my music artist page. It makes me happy. And when I see that people are taking to it and that they're actually receiving it, and I'm getting wonderful feedback from it, it makes it all the more worthwhile, and it makes me want to do it more often. And I just feel that I can. And what I am to many people is not the norm, because I am transgender. And I live a life that is not considered traditional. I have a wife and I have a son. You know, it's not a perfect situation, but I'm working it out the best I can with my wife, and I care. But I am a good person and I have a good heart. And I want to know that what I am doing is not hurting anybody. And certainly I'm not doing it to hurt anybody to begin with. I'm only just doing what I need to do to feel comfortable with myself and to be happy, you know? And I noticed also as I transitioned that my ability to express myself and to communicate has blossomed. And I want to do more. I would love to get more into music and to create and to maybe work with other artists and collaborate. I would love that. I would love to maybe get interviewed in a magazine. I would love to maybe get photographed and maybe have a spot on a modeling magazine. You know, the sky's the limit. Once you set yourself free from whatever holds you back, there's no holding you back. You can do anything you want. And that was what was holding me back in the past. I was afraid to take a chance. I was afraid to take a risk. But now I don't feel that way. I feel happier. And I am a good person. And I have a right to express myself and to communicate and to share my feelings and my thoughts and my emotions and my wishes and my dreams and my hopes. And I want to do that. And I will do that. And I will continue to do that. Because I have a lot of energy and creativity. And I am a transgender woman who wants to be heard and wants to live and be there for only myself, but for my wife, my son, and my family. And I want to communicate and do everything the right way. This is Emily of T-Girl Angel. I love you. Bye.